Present-day Intramuros comprises a centuries-old historic district, entirely surrounded by fortifications that was considered at the time of the Spanish Empire to be the entire city of Manila. The minor basilica and metropolitan cathedral of the Immaculate Conception, also known as the Manila Cathedral, is a minor basilica located in Intramuros, the historic walled city within today's modern. Gobernorfield Diecheg y Bermingamog to Malacasian after the earthquake. 3/4 Inalacan Glassevent became the Governor General's official residence. 5 the building's exterior was used. In front of the Palacio, there is a plaza where you can sit, relax, and unwind. Intramuros is more than a tourist spot with ancient walls and cobblestone streets. It's where history comes alive, where the past merges with the present. Every nook and cranny carries a story. A visit to Intramuros isn't complete without stepping foot into the cultural sites offered: Santiago, Casa Manila, Solwarte de San Diego, and Museo de Intramuros. Fortunately for us, it won't cost much. Entrance fee at each Intramuros spot is priced at P75. You can pay with cash, gash, or Maya at the entrance of each site, except for Museo de Intramuros that, as of writing, only accepts cash. The fort is one of the most important historical sites in Manila. Several people died in its prisons during the Spanish Empire and World War II. Jose Rizal, one of the Philippine national heroes, was imprisoned here before his execution in 1896. The Rizal Shrine Museum displays memorabilia of the hero in their collection, and the fort features, embedded onto the ground in bronze, his footsteps, representing his final walk from his cell to the location of the actual execution. It is only a few meters away from the Manila Cathedral and the Palacio del Gobernador. The construction of Fort Santiago with hard stone, together with the original fortified walls of Intramuros, commenced in 1590 and finished in 1593 during the term of Governor General Jimenez Perez Dasmariñas. The stones used were volcanic tuff quarried from Guadalupe, now Guadalupe Viejo in Makati. The fort, as Dasmariñas left it, consisted of a castellated structure without towers, trapezoidal. In trace, its straight gray front projecting into the river mouth. Arches supported an open gun platform above, named the Battery of Santa Barbara, the patron saint of all good artillerymen. These arches formed casemates which afforded a lower tier of fire through embrasures. Curtain walls of simplest character, without counterforts or interior buttresses, extended the flanks to a fourth. Front-facing the city. Side facade of Fort Santiago in 1880. The edifice was partially destroyed by the earthquake of July 1880. In 1714, the ornate gate of Fort Santiago was erected together with some military barracks. The Luzon earthquakes of 1880, which destroyed much of the city of Manila, destroyed the front edifice of the fort, changing its character. During the leadership of Fernando Vald S.Y. Taman in the 1730, a large semicircular gun platform to the front called Media Naranja Half-Orange and another of lesser dimensions to the river flank were added to the bastion of Santa Barbara. The casemates were then filled in and embrasures closed. He also changed the curtain wall facing cityward to a bastion front. A lower parapet bordering the interior moat connects the two bastions. Today, the fort, its bastions, and the prison dungeons for criminals used by the Spanish officials is now part of a historical park which also includes Plaza Moriones and several ruins. The park houses well-preserved legacies from the Spanish colonial period, including memorabilia of Jose Rizal at the Rizal Shrine, a replica of his ancestral house in Laguna Province. Adaptive use of this famous historical landmark makes certain areas ideal for open-air theater. picnics, and as a promenade. The Intramuros Visitors Center gives an overview of the various attractions. Fort Santiago Gatahir stands the gate leading to the inner sanctum of Fort Santiago. The gate of Fort Santiago was destroyed during the Battle of Manila in 1945. The main gate is decorated by a relief or wood relief carving of Santiago Matamoros DT, James, the Moor Slayer, the patron saint of Spain, together with the coat of arms of the Kingdom of Castile and Leon. What remains of the original gate are the embossed Spanish soldiers, now defaced. The image of St. James Santiago, a symbol of Spanish sovereignty, decorates countries occupied by the Spaniards, such as Chile and Mexico. Welcome to the Museo ni Rizal. Administered by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines NPAH, this is the Plaza de Armas. The plaza and its name is a common feature in fortresses built by the Spaniards in their colonies throughout the world. It got its name from the use of the area to stock arms and rifles when not in use. This is also where the soldiers marched around in their daily drills. Bulwardy de Santa Barbarathas was built in the 16th century to protect the entrance from the Pasig River. It is the highest defensive structure in Fort Santiago. Vaults of powder magazine. During the occupation periods, Fort Santiago served as the military headquarters for the Spanish, British 1762 to 1764, Americans 1898 to 1964, and Japanese 1942 to 1945. It was here that the American flag was first raised on August 13, 1898, signifying the transition of colonizing power. During the Second World War, the Japanese secret police, Kempeitai, imprisoned and tortured hundreds of men and women here. During World War II, Fort Santiago was severely damaged when American forces blasted their way inside to flush out the Japanese who sought refuge in the fort and refusing to give up. The fight. The main gate was destroyed, and the only remnants of the original structure are the two carved stone sentries on its sides. Photos of the Intramuros and Fort Bonifacio during World War II. Chapel cell at the Raja Solomon Theatre. This main room of the soldiers' school was converted into a chapel cell for Dr. Jose Rizal, who was transferred here after 56 days of imprisonment at the Sol. Thank you for watching.